Hey, Helen. I heard something interesting.
Oh, Sarah? What's this about all of a sudden? You hardly ever message me.
It's nothing weird. After all, we're family, aren't we? It's only natural for us to keep in touch.
And yet, you never responded when I needed help with Frank's care.
That's ancient history. Let's not dwell on the past.
You've been ignoring all my calls and messages. Even Tom hasn't visited home at all.
Like I said, let's focus on the present. We're reaching out now, aren't we?
After months of silence, what changed?
Well, we're busy. Can't help that. You really need to learn to let go of your kids, you know?
Letting go is different from being completely ignored.
You're being dramatic. Family is family, even if we're not in constant contact.
That's not what this is about. So why are you contacting me now?
Helen, you bought a house in Westbrook. Why didn't you tell us?
Oh, how did you find out about that?
Word gets around. And not just any house, a property with a half-acre garden. You should have told us sooner.
I didn't think you'd be interested, given how you've been avoiding us.
Of course we're interested. This is big news.
Well, I saved up money, and with my retirement package, I decided to take the plunge. I've always dreamed of having a house with a garden where I could spend my remaining years. I just wish my husband could have been there too.
Yes, I'm sure Frank is thinking the same thing in heaven.
Yes, I suppose so.
But isn't it going to be hard living alone in such a big house? I mean, just maintaining it. The cleaning, the gardening, it must be overwhelming.
I've already thought about that.
Have you really? It's a lot of work for someone your age.
Well, I think I can manage.
You're being stubborn. This is exactly why we worry.
I don't recall you worrying before.
No, we can't let you handle that all by yourself. I know, we'll move in with you.
Wait, what are you talking about?
It's perfect timing. We've been thinking about moving anyway.
This is very sudden.
What do you mean? I'm thinking about what's best for you. Why are you being so defensive?
But
Tom, me, and our son. The three of us will move in. It'll be so lively.
that's really not necessary.
Think about it. You'll have family around all the time.
Like when Frank needed care?
Why are you bringing that up again? This is different. We're family, aren't we? We should help each other out.
Help each other? Are you in some kind of trouble?
No, not me. I'm talking about you. What are you going to do when you need care?
That's rich coming from you. When my husband was bedridden and needed care, you never helped once.
Well, of course not. There was nothing to gain from taking care of Frank. Even in close relationships, you have to think about give and take.
What kind of attitude is that?
It's just being practical. Everyone thinks this way.
No, they don't.
Look, you've got this nice house in Westbrook now, so there's something in it for us. That's why I'm offering to move in. And if you refuse, we won't help with your care when you're older.
Hold on. Don't just decide things on your own. I wasn't planning to rely on you for care anyway.
You're being foolish. This benefits everyone.
How exactly does it benefit me?
You get company, help with the house, and future care. It's a perfect arrangement.
Perfect? That's laughable.
There's no point acting tough. This is us being kind to you. If you refuse, karma will come back to bite you in the ass. I'll be in touch later.
Nathan, Sarah just called me.
Really? That's unusual. What did she want?
She hasn't contacted me since your father's funeral, so I was pretty surprised myself.
Did something happen?
She somehow found out about the house, and now she's saying they're going to move in.
What? Why so suddenly? They've been completely ignoring us until now.
I know. They didn't even send a New Year's card.
Or visit during the holidays.
Seems they want to live in a house with a garden in Westbrook. I keep quiet about it because I didn't want any drama. How did they find out? Did you tell them, Nathan?
No way! You know I barely talk to Tom anymore. You know what our relationship is like.
I thought maybe you mentioned it during a family gathering.
Mom, when was the last time we had a family gathering with them?
Right. Sorry. Maybe one of the relatives told them. Anyway, we need to do something about this moving situation.
Did they actually ask your permission?
More like announce their decision.
That's just like them. But that house is...
Yes, I know. It's not that I'm against having people live there. A big house would be fun with more people, but I'm worried about suddenly living with them.
Yeah, I can understand why you'd be worried. I mean, they ignored us when we needed them most.
I keep thinking about your father.
How Tom never visited him in the hospital?
Yes, that's partly why I'm hesitating.
Yeah, who knows what they're thinking?
Sarah mentioned something about care, about how I'll need someone to tend to me when I'm too old to take care of myself.
You really think they'll help after how they treated Dad?
That's true. I think they'll try contacting Tom first.
Are you sure? He's been ignoring all your messages, right?
Yes, even during the funeral arrangements.
Mom, you don't owe them anything.
I think he'll at least respond when it comes to moving in together.
Probably the only time he will respond.
I need to hear his side of this.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I'm nervous about this conversation.
Want me to try talking to him first?
No, I should handle this myself.
Okay, but I'm here if you need backup.
I'll let you know if anything happens.
Okay.
Nathan,
Yes?
thank you for always being there.
That's what family is supposed to be, Mom.
I'll message Tom now.
Good luck. I'll keep my phone close.
Tom, Sarah contacted me. She says you're moving in with us?
Yeah, that's right. Why didn't you tell us about buying the house?
Because you never respond to any of my messages. I figured you'd ignore this too.
That's different. This is important.
Your father's condition wasn't important?
Don't start with that again. You're always making assumptions like that and making me out to be the bad guy. You should tell me about important stuff like this.
But you ignored everything about your father.
I was busy. Of course it's annoying getting constant messages.
Constant? I only messaged when his condition changed.
It was still too much.
Even about family?
That's different. I'm busy. There are things I can and can't do for family.
Like visiting your dying father.
I had work commitments.
I see. So you agree with Sarah about moving in?
Of course, living in a house with a garden in Westbrook, it's perfect.
Perfect for whom?
For all of us. Think about it. You get help, we save on rent.
I've been wondering about this. What about your job? You won't be able to commute from there.
Huh? Yes, I can.
What? But the new house isn't that close to your current one.
So what?
Well, you said you couldn't help with your father's care because your job was too far away to come back. You said you were working out of state with all those transfers.
Let's not bring up old stuff.
Answer the question, Tom.
Yeah, about that. I got transferred back to a local office. Looks like I'll be working in the city from now on.
When did this happen?
Does it matter?
Oh, I get it. You were lying all this time. I can understand Sarah's position. She met you after we were already family. So I get why she wouldn't want to care for a complete stranger. But he was your actual father. Did you really lie to avoid caring for him?
You're making this bigger than it needs to be.
Am I?
Well, what's the big deal? Is it so wrong to prioritize my career? I'm an executive with important responsibilities at work. Let my good-for-nothing brother handle Dad's care. It's not like he has any real job anyway.
How? How can you talk about your own brother like that?
Nathan's always been the family disappointment.
Far from it. He was there when we needed him.
Sure, but we're here now, aren't we? Having a useless brother makes me look bad too. But let me at least say that much. Same goes for Dad, just a regular office worker, but always trying to lecture me.
Your father was proud of his work.
He could have done better, we all knew it.
What happened to you? You weren't like this before. You've changed so much since marrying Sarah.
Don't blame Sarah for everything. Shut up! This is how I live my life. Use the useful people, throw away the useless ones. Looks like you're useful now, so our family's gonna use you. Just gratefully accept us moving in.
So that's really how you feel.
What's wrong with being practical?
Is that what you call it?
Like I said, we're already preparing everything. You better get ready to welcome us.
And if I refuse?
You won't. You can't.
Fine. Come if you can.
That's more like it. I'll be in touch.
Yes, I'm sure you will.
Helen, we're all set with our moving preparations.
Oh, is that so?
You don't sound very enthusiastic.
Should I be?
Of course! It's going to be so much fun living together, I promise. We've already started packing.
I don't recall agreeing to this.
Don't be difficult. We've already given notice at our apartment.
That was your choice.
We'll be there tomorrow. Get ready.
Oh, all right then.
Oh, and you need to clear out the master bedroom.
Why would I do that?
Well, it's the biggest room. We need the space more than you do.
That's my room.
You can take one of the smaller ones. Also, we have quite a lot of stuff, so we might need to throw out some of your things.
Why? They're my things and it's my house.
Don't be selfish. You need to make space for us.
In my own house?
Well, you'll be passing on to the next world soon anyway. So we should start organizing and preparing for that. We're going to move in with you so that we can help you. You shouldn't make things difficult when we're doing this for your own good.
I'm only 65. Mind your own business.
65 isn't young anymore.
I'm in perfect health.
Still, better to be prepared.
For what exactly?
For when we need to inherit everything.
Inherit what?
You know what I mean. When you can't manage anymore.
I can manage just fine.
Well, we'll take care of all that tomorrow. Just be cooperative and don't make this difficult.
You seem very confident about tomorrow.
Of course, everything's decided.
Is it?
Don't try to be clever, Helen.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Good. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yes, you will.
And make sure you're ready to help us move in.
Oh, I'm prepared.
That's what I like to hear.
You might be surprised.
What's that supposed to mean?
You'll see tomorrow.
Stop being cryptic. Just do as you're told.
Goodbye, Sarah.
Remember, be ready early. Helen, can you open up quickly?
Oh, is something wrong?
Well, we're here at your house, but there's a gate and we can't get onto the property. The movers are waiting. We need to get in.
Ah, yes. I had secure fencing installed to keep strangers out. You know how things are these days.
Stop playing games. Let us in.
I'm just being security conscious.
I understand that. That's why we're moving in to help you. So please open this gate quickly. We can't move in otherwise.
The movers must be expensive.
They charge by the hour. Stop wasting time.
Moving in? Oh, right. You did mention something about that.
Are you getting dementia already?
No, I'm just wondering why you're making such assumptions.
What assumptions? This was all arranged. I clearly told you we're moving into your house.
Yes, you did.
And you agreed to it.
When exactly did I agree?
Yesterday, in our messages.
I agreed that you could come to the house, but I never agreed to you moving in.
What? What are you talking about?
Perhaps you should read those messages again.
Stop playing word games.
You unilaterally declared you were moving in, but I never once accepted that.
Don't be ridiculous. We've already completed our moving preparations. We've canceled our apartment lease, and we're here with all our belongings. You can't just say we can't move in now.
Your poor planning isn't my emergency.
The movers are charging us by the minute.
That must be stressful.
You're the one being ridiculous, trying to force your way in just because I bought a house. Why don't you try considering other people's feelings? But we're family.
Are we? Since when? Does being family mean you can just move in without permission?
What about when you need care?
Like when Frank needed care? That won't be a problem. I'll hire home care services. I have enough savings for that. I won't need to rely on people who've been ignoring us all this time.
You're making a huge mistake. Wait a minute. We have nowhere else to go if we can't get into this house.
There are hotels and other options. Just stop trying to live here.
Hotels are expensive. We can't afford that.
That's not my concern.
I'm not backing down. I'll have Tom contact you and convince you.
That won't make any difference. My decision won't change even if my son calls. Just leave now. The gate can only be opened from inside the house, and if you try to break in, I'll call the police and have you arrested for trespassing.
You wouldn't dare.
Try me.
You can't be serious.
Just leave.
The movers are asking what to do with our stuff.
Not my problem.
What should we do? I need Tom to fix this somehow.
Good luck with that.
Nathan, can you talk to Mom for me? What's with the sudden request? I need your help. It's urgent. After 3 years of silence? When we tried to move into Mom's house, she wouldn't open the gate, and now she's ignoring my calls. Can you convince her? You're actually serious about this? Of course I am. We're standing here with all our stuff. Well, that's probably not possible. Mom's kind, but when she's made up her mind about something, she won't change it even if I ask. You have to try. The movers are charging us by the hour. Like how you tried to visit Dad in the hospital? But we discussed moving in. She can't just change her mind on move-in day. We've already canceled our apartment lease. When exactly did she agree to this? Well, she didn't exactly say no. Put your hand on your heart and think about it. You know why Mom did this. No, I really don't understand what she's thinking at all. Think harder about Dad's last days. That was different. If you're seriously saying that, then you don't deserve to enter that house. You're taking her side? There aren't sides here, just consequences. Is it hopeless? Will Mom really not let us in? Finally asking the right questions. This isn't fair. You should give up. There's no point pushing it. Hey, Nathan, your place is pretty close to here, right? Yeah, so what if it is? What's that got to do with anything? Then could you let us stay at your place just for a while until we find somewhere else? No way. Don't even think about it. That would work, right? Absolutely not. We're brothers, aren't we? Are we? Since when? Why are you saying that? Your only brother is in trouble. Shouldn't you help me? Who was it that kept looking down on their only brother all this time? Looking down on you? No, I never. You've always looked down on me, bragging about how smart you were. I tried my best to study and keep up with you, but I could never match you. That was just motivation. Motivation? Is that what you call it? No, I really didn't mean to. But Mom and Dad always loved me anyway. Unlike you, they found good things about me besides academics and praised me for them. Thanks to them, I work hard at my job now and have a wonderful wife and kids. It's all thanks to our parents. That's why I'd do anything for those two. But I don't want to do anything for you. Come on! Okay, maybe I was harsh sometimes, but that's because I had expectations for you, Nathan. I thought my little brother came from good stock, too. I was just trying to motivate you with tough love. Tough love? Was that also tough love when Dad was dying? That's not fair! I still remember when I failed to get into my first choice university and was crying, you just kept laughing and making fun of me. I've hated you ever since then. I will never help you, not in a million years. Mom seems to despise you for not coming to see Dad too, so I guess we won't be seeing each other anymore. Don't contact me again. You're being unreasonable! I learned it from you. Hey, don't abandon me! Like you abandoned Dad? I couldn't care less what happens to you. Why don't you go find yourself a new place? Nathan, please! Goodbye, Tom.
Helen, Nathan abandoned us too. Now we really have nowhere to go.
Oh, really? Well, you better start looking for a place then, or stay at a hotel.
The movers are still charging us.
That sounds expensive.
Don't you understand how serious we are?
I understand perfectly.
Then let us in.
I don't really understand what you mean. All I can say is you should move quickly.
Move where? We have nowhere to go.
That's not my concern.
We're not moving from this spot.
Oh.
We'll camp out here if we have to.
Excuse me?
This has become a battle of endurance. We'll force our way in when you come out of the house.
My, that sounds rather dangerous.
You will have to come out eventually. This isn't a threat. We're serious. We'll wait here for a day or two if we have to.
Is that so? Well, good luck with that.
You can't stay inside forever.
Can't I?
How long do you think you can hold out in that house?
What do you mean?
I'm asking how long you can barricade yourself in there.
Well, I'm not in the house.
What? What do you mean you're not in the house?
I'm actually on vacation abroad right now.
Vacation? Abroad?
Lovely weather here.
You're lying.
Would you like to see my travel photos?
And how long will you be gone?
Well, let's see. I originally thought about a week, but now that I'm here, I want to visit so many places, I might extend my stay.
You planned this.
I planned a vacation? Yes.
You've got to be kidding.
You said you'd wait there until I return, right? Do your best, within reason, of course.
We can't possibly stay here for a week.
That's why I told you to move quickly.
The movers are threatening to leave.
They sound very professional.
This is all your fault.
Is it? Who made assumptions here?
Damn it!
Well, I want to enjoy my vacation now, so I'll be ignoring your calls too.
Don't you dare!
The beach is calling. Goodbye, Sarah.
Helen!
Oh, and Sarah?
What now?
I've instructed the security company to call the police if anyone tries to break in.
You evil!
Enjoy your house hunting.
Mom, how have you been?
Oh my, it's been a while.
I know it's been a long time.
A very long time.
Yeah. Mom, I got divorced from Sarah.
Really? You two seem so close.
Close enough to destroy everything else.
What do you mean?
Well, after we couldn't move into your house, things went downhill.
Why? My house had nothing to do with it.
You don't understand what happened after that day.
Then explain it to me.
To be honest, her spending was out of control. No matter how much I earned, we couldn't save anything. When I heard you bought a house, I thought we could save on rent by moving in.
So you're finally sharing your true motives for trying to force your way into my home.
We were drowning in debt.
I see. So that's what it was about.
It wasn't just about money.
No.
But then things got worse. We found a new apartment, but the moving costs ate up all our savings. And Sarah's spending didn't improve at all. We started fighting, and she left me and filed for divorce.
That must have been difficult.
I lost everything, Mom.
Everything?
Yeah, and now I've realized something.
Oh?
A bad relationship with you and Nathan. It was all her fault. She kept me away from home, always ordering me to focus on work. I really wanted to spend more time with everyone.
Is that so?
She manipulated me.
And you let her?
So what are you trying to say?
I think you know.
Let's live together again. Can I move into your house? I want to make up for all the family time I lost because of her, please.
Absolutely not.
Mom, why are you being so harsh?
Am I being harsh?
I've changed. I've learned my lesson.
Because you abandoned your father. He was hoping to talk with you until his very last moment. But you lied about being busy with work and refused to even have a conversation with him. There's no way I could have lived happily with someone like that.
But Mom, that was Sarah's.
Stop blaming Sarah.
She wouldn't let me visit.
So you chose Sarah over your dying father.
No, that's not.
Then what is it?
I was weak.
I'm not trying to judge your choice, but I can't forgive you for abandoning your father, so I won't help you.
Mom, this is exactly when families should help each other. Come on, help me out. I have nowhere else to go.
I sent you so many SOS signals. Taking care of your father while working was incredibly hard and physically demanding. There were many times when I felt so small and so weak because I was a lone woman taking care of my sickly husband. Helping him to the toilet and taking him to have a bath took everything I had. But every time I asked for your help, you brushed me off. All I wanted was for you to come and visit once a week. Even once a month would have been enough. But you never came. Nathan and his wife were the only ones who came to help with your father and the chores.
Well, that was...
That was what?
I was focused on my career.
You ignored us when it's convenient, but want help when you're in trouble? Don't be ridiculous. You and I aren't family anymore. Actually, I built this house to live with Nathan and his family.
What?
Does that surprise you?
But I'm a successful executive.
Yes, and you're also a heartless person who neglects family. Nathan is a devoted son who values family above all else. It's pretty obvious which one I choose.
Mom!
Don't call me that anymore. I'm not your mother.
Please don't say that!
Goodbye, Tom. Nathan, Tom just called. He might be lurking around the house, so be careful.
He tried calling me too. I blocked him.
You didn't have to do that.
Yes, I did, after everything he said.
He's divorced now.
I heard Sarah left him.
He tried to blame everything on her.
Typical Tom. Nothing's ever his fault.
He wanted to move in.
Here? With us?
I refused.
Good. We don't need him here.
Oh, really? But you know what? I'm not afraid of him anymore. I'll stand up to anyone who threatens you, even if it's my brother. You've grown so strong.
Remember when I used to hide behind you when Tom bullied me?
You were so small then.
You always praised me for being gentle, but I realized that's not enough to protect family.
Your gentleness is your strength.
Not anymore. From now on, I'll protect you and my wife. Don't worry.
When did you become so reliable?
When Dad got sick, someone had to step up.
Yes, you're so reliable now.
Mom,
Yes,
thank you for choosing me.
you chose us first, every time.
I always will.
After that, Tom, abandoned by his family, began living alone. Since Sarah had always handled doing the household chores, living alone for the first time in years was very difficult for him. Because of this, he lost focus at work and made many mistakes. The number of errors was so high that he was removed from his prestigious position in the sales department. After that, he completely lost his motivation and became apathetic about work. The company wouldn't tolerate such behavior, and he was soon fired. Now he apparently makes ends meet working part-time jobs. Meanwhile, I'm living happily with Nathan and his family in our large house with a garden. I've recently taken up gardening as a hobby in our spacious yard. I want to watch my grandchildren and my plants grow for as long as possible in this house. And someday, I want to tell Frank, who's waiting in heaven, about all the wonderful memories we've made here. My garden is blooming now, just like our family. Nathan's children help me plant new flowers every spring, and we spend our evenings watching the sunset together. This is the family life I've always dreamed of. Not perfect, perhaps, but real and warm and true. Frank would have loved it here. Sometimes I think about Tom, but those thoughts grow dimmer with each passing season. Like weeds in my garden, some things need to be removed for the healthy plants to thrive. Our family is thriving now, and that's what matters most. Good morning, Mr. Trudeau. I was wondering if I could have you explain something for me.
Who are you? Oh, it's you, the middle-aged high school dropout. What do you want?
I'll go ahead and let that jab slide for now. We'll deal with that later. I arrived this morning only to find a notice on my desk telling me that my employment was being terminated effective today. I did not, however, see a reason for my termination. If you have some good reason to fire me, then I'd like you to tell me.
I shouldn't need to tell you, isn't it obvious? It's because you never graduated from high school.
Really? Your issue is with my educational history?
That's right. Listen, Veronica, it takes a lot of hard work to get into a decent university. Even someone like you should understand that, right?
Yes, I am aware. Getting into more exclusive schools requires a lot of work and studying for the SAT. I've never taken the SAT myself, but I did assist my daughter with applying and studying, so I know that much.
That's exactly right. That means that people who go to good universities have already put their work in. Otherwise, they never would have been accepted. And what about you, Veronica? You decided to forego all of that hard work and take the easy way by dropping out of high school before graduating. And in spite of that egregious shortcoming of yours, you still take up precious office space in this company. Are you so old and senile that you don't know when you aren't wanted? Your office would be better used as a supply room than a workspace for a useless employee like you.
I see. Then I suppose the reason for my termination would be because Mr. Trudeau doesn't like me. I read you loud and clear.
I won't deny that I'm not exactly your biggest fan, but that's not the reason why. I'm firing you because you never get any real work done.
If you think I'm not getting any real work done, I suggest you take a look at my regular performance review.
Oh, your numbers are nothing special. Combine your mediocre performance with the fact that you're uneducated, and it's clear that you're not needed around here. I mean, how high could your IQ possibly be if you couldn't even finish high school? If a saw doesn't cut wood, what do you do with it? You throw it away. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with you.
Uh-huh. Right. So that doesn't change the fact that this is pretty clear-cut wrongful termination, and I suggest you rescind it immediately. The higher-ups are not going to be happy if they find out you're going around firing employees just because they rub you the wrong way. If news gets out about this, that could seriously damage the company's reputation. Would you like to be responsible for that?
I don't recall asking for your opinion. As if I would ever want the opinion of an over-the-hill high school dropout. I'm the manager of this department, and if I say you're gone, you're gone! I can find someone to replace an employee of your low caliber in no time. You're fired.
Understood. Very well then, I'll be leaving. You sure you won't change your mind?
Of course I'm sure. Now clear out your desk before lunch or I'll call security and have you thrown out.
After that, I asked him again if he was sure, and he said yes. So I guess that's it. I'm getting fired.
What a jerk that guy is. Seriously, how is that anything but a case of wrongful termination? You must be absolutely furious.
Yeah, you can say that again. It may have just been a part-time job, but it was nice to be able to work at the same company as you. And now that's all over, and for such a silly reason.
By the way, Mom, I had no idea that you had taken a job at this company.
Well, I did go change jobs after you went off to college. I suppose I never did tell you what company I went to, did I? But in my defense, I never expected that you would apply for a job at the same company as me. And in a sales position, too. You make me so proud to be your mother, Kayla.
Thanks for that, but this isn't the time to be talking about me. What are you going to do from now on, Mom? You're not really going to lay down and take it, are you? You have to fight this.
Yes, you might be right. I'm more than just a little bit angry about this. And this is not the first time Mr. Trudeau has treated me in this way. But I also have to say that I'm unfortunately used to it. I've been working for quite some time now. Back in my younger days, the very presence of a woman in the workplace was like an insult to some of the men I worked with. So I've been putting up with it until now. I've always interpreted his workplace bullying as a sign of his own jealousy of me.
How did you get to be so strong, Mom? If I were in your position, I'd probably be in my room crying my eyes out right now.
It's like I said, dear, when you have to put up with this sort of thing on a daily basis, eventually you become immune to it. However, Trudeau's harassment and him firing me are two completely different issues. Companies have a duty to protect their workers from both internal and external threats. I can't let him get away with something as comically evil as this. I won't let him besmirch the name of the company we worked so hard to build up.
That's what I wanted to hear. I was waiting for you to get angry.
Well, wait, no longer. I'm angry, and I think I need to go blow off some steam.
Hey, what's going on here, Veronica? I told you to have your desk cleared out by lunchtime and you still haven't done a thing. What are you doing anyway, chatting it up with all the other old ladies in the office? Get back to your desk now and clear it out!
There's a very good reason I haven't cleared off my desk yet, Mr. Trudeau. I don't need to.
What are you talking about?
On the contrary, I think that you might want to work on cleaning up your own desk. You have far more things there than necessary. It's always so disorganized. When's the last time you sorted out all your papers?
Are you mocking me right now, Veronica?
Heavens no. All I'm doing is telling you the simple truth. If you don't start cleaning things up now, it's going to make things much more difficult for you later. I doubt you'll have much time to pack your things up when it comes time for you to leave the company.
Did you forget to take your Alzheimer's meds today or something? Stop spouting nonsense at me and get to work! Unlike you, I happen to be an elite businessman with years of experience under my belt. I'm not leaving this company until I retire or get a better offer elsewhere. You're the one who's leaving. What's going on here? What did you do, Veronica?
Oh, me? I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I'm leaving the company, remember? I don't think I have the power to do much of anything.
Don't play dumb with me. Since yesterday evening, more than 90% of our clients have contacted us and said they won't do business with us anymore. And when we asked them why, they all said the same thing. They said it was because you weren't working here anymore. Explain yourself.
Oh, are you sure you want to hear an explanation from me? I'm just an old lady, and we tend to ramble.
Just shut up and tell me what happened.
Patience, young man.
I'm 44 years old.
That's young to me. Anyway, since I was being fired, I thought I would go around to all the clients I've worked with over the years and let them know I was leaving the company. We got to talking as old ladies do, and they asked why I was leaving, so I told them.
You did?
I most certainly did. So now, all of our clients know about the circumstances of my termination. Or should I say, my wrongful termination. As you can imagine, they were not pleased at all with what I told them. In fact, many told me that they would no longer do business with a company who treated its workers so poorly. Which brings us to where we are now.
Hold on, that doesn't make any sense. You're just some loser part-timer who never even graduated from high school. Why would they get upset over a nobody like you getting axed?
Because this nobody just so happens to be a founding member of this company.
What?
Women in the workforce were far less common back in those days, and in fact, I was the only woman on the team. But the company president saw potential in me. He placed me in a sales position, and from there I was able to build relationships with our current clients. It wasn't easy, I assure you. Some of them refused to even give me the time of day just because I was a woman. But I didn't let that get to me. I kept pressing forward. And the result was that I secured the clients whose business made our company what it is today. What can I say? Us girls are easy to like. I was outperforming most of the men back then, you know?
No way! You were one of the founding members? But I've never heard anything about that. I thought you were just a regular part-timer.
When I got married, well, remarried, that is, I resigned from the company and I was doing other things for about 20 years. In that time, most of my coworkers moved up to much higher positions in the company. They're far too busy to spend time chit-chatting with me. There are far more employees now, as well, and I would imagine the majority of them don't know me.
This cannot be happening.
Unfortunately for you, it very much is happening. Did you think you would get away with firing someone based on your own silly prejudices? Not on my watch. You're going to pay for the damage you've done to my company, and I'm going to see to it myself.
Hey, what are you doing here? I fired you. Why are you back in the office?
I'm afraid the CEO has personally rescinded your termination. He had little choice given the alternative was to lose 90% of our clients. Not to mention, he couldn't sit by while one of the people who built the company alongside his father gets treated so unreasonably.
Why couldn't you just tell him you quit before getting fired? We have plenty of part-timers we can do without you.
It seems you're confused, Mr. Trudeau. I'm not working part-time. I'm a full-time contracted employee.
You are, but you weren't before.
Once again, the president has intervened on my behalf. When he called me to rescind my termination, he asked me to come back as a regular full-time employee. Frankly, I would prefer a more laid-back working style. But once I saw that middle management contained such miserable louses as yourself, I knew I had to do something about it. And there's very little I could do back as a part-timer, so I gladly agreed to accept the offer.
Well, since you were terminated once, that still makes you a new hire right now. And you know what that means? You have to obey every order from your boss, no matter what.
Oh, goodness me. I would never even think of disobeying an order from my superior. I'm afraid, however, that you aren't my superior anymore.
Yes, you are. You were my underling before, and that hasn't changed.
Actually, it has. I've been transferred out of your department and into the HR department. So no, I'm not your underling, Mr. Trudeau. Not that I ever was, mind you.
You're in HR now?
It's a wonderful department, really. It's like a mighty fortress that exists for the protection of each and every employee. And I broke in my first day on the job by reporting you. I have mountains of evidence regarding the fact that your termination of me was uncalled for, as well as numerous instances of past misconduct. I filed them all into a neat report which I submitted for further investigation. And yes, Mr. Trudeau, there will be consequences.
You're out of your mind if I think I'm gonna let some old granny derail my career track. You might be a founding member, but so what? I've got years of stellar performance under my belt. Why did I get suspended? They can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. This is totally unfair.
Good morning, Mr. Trudeau. I see you're up bright and early today. Don't worry. I can assure you that your suspension was decided upon in a completely fair manner, as dictated by company policy.
There's nothing fair about this at all. I didn't do anything worthy of getting suspended.
Come now. Let's not behave like children. You know exactly what you did to deserve the suspension. Falsifying work reports is a serious offense.
What?
You told me that I never get any real work done, but even if that were true, you do even less work than I do. It was baffling to me how a person as useless as yourself managed to rise so high up in the company's hierarchy. And now I know why. Your performance numbers were based on falsified data.
That's not true. I didn't falsify anything. I've worked my butt off for this company, and the results show it.
Someone has definitely been working their butt off for this company, but it's not you. When I investigated your reports, I found that you had taken credit for the work of your subordinates, myself included. I've collected testimony from some of the people whose work you took credit for, including a few who have already quit the company.
Lies! All lies! They're all out to get me! They're jealous that I was a way better worker than they are!
Is your position that more than 10 people of different ages all got together and are coordinating a grand conspiracy against you? If that's true, then you must be even more hated than I thought. You do have quite the impressive educational background, but you must have worked hard to earn your degrees. But the efforts you made in the past do not provide you with a justification to behave with prejudice towards employees with lower educational attainment. You've been so busy looking at the letters behind a person's name that you've forgotten the things that really matter. And for that, you don't deserve to hold a position of authority in this company. You need some time away to think about what you've done and change your ways.
I know that you've been working behind the scenes against me, Kayla. Why are you doing this to me? What did I ever do to you?
Well, hello, Mr. Trudeau. How come you're up so early? Did you forget that you're suspended and don't need to come to work today?
I don't have time to listen to your wisecracks right now, you little brat. I am in massive trouble thanks to you. And quite frankly, I'm having a hard time seeing how I'm ever going to be able to work myself out of this hole you've dug for me. All sorts of crazy rumors about me are going around the entire company.
Crazy rumors? Which rumors are you talking about? Oh, you mean like the one about how you got my mom fired for no reason at all?
That wasn't for no reason. Hey, wait a second. Your mom?
You know, Veronica, the woman who you've been calling alternatively a senior citizen, old granny, a middle-aged high school dropout, senile, and so on? She's my mom.
No way! You mean both you and your mom worked in the same company?
Crazy, right? I was pretty shocked when I first found out too. Plus, she hadn't been working there for quite some time. She quit her job back when she got remarried, and I never really got a chance to ask her much about the way things were before that. All I knew was that once I got out on my own, she started doing a part-time job somewhere. I had no idea it was the same company as me. Seeing as though her last name is different from when she used to work here, and she's also in a different department, I'm not surprised that most people don't know she came back.
God damn it! It's bad enough dealing with that old hag, but now I have to deal with her bratty little daughter, too?
Well, that's uncalled for. We work in different departments. You don't have to deal with me at all. Oh, and the rumors? Don't get me wrong. I wasn't intending to be bashing you or anything. You probably don't know this because you're old, but all the younger employees have a little social gathering once a week or so. We talk about how things are going for us at work and share information we think is useful. Like, when some of the higher-ups' birthdays are, what positions might be opening up soon, new projects, and stuff about our clients too. Like how the receptionist at one company really likes a certain kind of candy. You'd be surprised how useful it can be to know stuff like that when you're trying to score a new contract, And one thing we realized is that all the young people that work under you either quit or request transfers to other departments super quickly. And that's weird, right? So, we decided to take a deeper look into what was going on and we figured it out. You were taking credit for everyone's work and keeping them from advancing in the company. That's super dirty, so we thought it would be best for as many people to know as possible. It would suck for anyone else to get taken advantage of, right? So yeah, it's not like we were calling you a stinky doodle face or anything. We were just talking about what was actually going on in your department. It's not a crazy rumor if it's true. And once word got out, people started avoiding you like the plague.
I can't believe it! That old loser had you in her corner the whole time? Don't think I'm gonna let you get away with this, do you hear me? I mean, you've only been with the company for a few years. How did you manage to get your hands on so much information?
Know that. It was easy. All I had to do was go to all the bosses and tell them who my mom was, and they opened right up.
You're kidding! You name-dropped your mom?
And why wouldn't I? I love being my mom's daughter. It comes in super duper handy. Now that I know she's working here and her history at the company, I'm name-dropping her all the time.
But why are you doing this, though? What's in it for you?
I don't really have too good of a memory of my younger days, but I definitely remember that my mom worked really hard to support me back when I was a kid. And once I heard that you were being a major jerk to my mom, I had to do something to get back at you. Oh, and just so you know, I'm only getting started.
I can't believe it. It's actually happening. I'm getting fired. This has to be some kind of mistake. There's no way some random old high school dropout could take me down. Why is this happening to me?
Good morning, Mr. Trudeau. I see you got the email that HR chief sent to you this morning. If you would like to know why, it's quite simple, actually. I use my connections inside the company.
What? You mean you had even more connections that you hadn't used yet?
That's right. Actually, my daughter's husband is none other than the current CEO. Who, by the way, is the former CEO's son.
You have got to be kidding me.
I'm just full of surprises, aren't I? They've only been married for a short time, and they haven't exactly been going around the company telling all the employees. So I don't think many people know about them as of right now. I think Kayla is also concerned people might start treating her differently if they knew.
You mean I called the CEO's wife a little brat? This is bad. Very, very bad.
You said a number of things you regret, didn't you? She was angrier after she talked to you than she has been in quite some time. And please, don't resent me for using my connections. After all, interpersonal relationships are just another resource in a professional's repertoire. My being the CEO's mother-in-law was my biggest trump card yet. I was actually a bit excited to finally play it against you.
He came over to my house with my daughter for dinner last night, so we talked about this and that. And I also took the opportunity to let him know about your falsified work reports and wrongful termination of me.
Man, this sucks! Why does some old woman like you have this much power in the company? You never worked for anything in your life. You even dropped out of high school when the going got tough.
Actually, I created quite a bit more work for myself by not staying in school. Remember back in my day, women were expected to stay in the home. But I lost my husband while we were still both so young, so I had no choice but to work. So there I was, a high school dropout, woman, and a widow. 3 things that made it very difficult to find good work. And that's why, when I got the opportunity to work here, I knew I had to take this chance to prove myself. You think I haven't worked for anything in my life, do you? Tell me, Mr. Trudeau. Have you ever been on the phone with a client in the middle of the night with a baby in one arm and a pen in the other? Have you ever had to buy a new dress on the way to a client's office because your child got sick and threw up on the only clean dress you had?
Well, I guess I can't say that I have.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Granted, I left the country for 20 years after getting married, so my history with the company is only partial. But it took the hard work and dedication of many people in order to put together the company that you, until recently, worked for. When you used your position within the company to enact your own personal childish vendetta against me, you spat in the face of every single one of those people. There is no room here for a person of such low moral fiber as you. You are finished here, Mr. Trudeau. Accept it.
Never. I'll never accept defeat, not by you. I've worked way too hard to get to where I am to let you take it all away. I'm one of the best people at this company. They need me.
Well, Mr. Trudeau, I hate to break it to you, but in your last week on the job, you've more than proved your incompetence.
Yeah, right. I've been working harder than I ever have this past week.
You took the lead on the new project while I was gone for the last few days, didn't you? It's crystal clear to me now that you've done nothing but take credit for other people's work. You don't have any of the skills or experience necessary to lead this project. We just uncovered a glaring error in the project, one that is going to cost our clients an astronomical sum.
What?
You've always seen yourself as a corporate superman, but that's all in your head. You don't even have a shred of business talent. Now, the responsibility for this mishap partially lies with the company, as the company placed you in a position of power. And so, the company will likely have to learn a very costly lesson thanks to your mistake. But like I said earlier, the damages to our client will be utterly astronomical. I think you should be prepared for the very likely event that you, personally, are held civilly or even criminally liable for this.
No, that can't be. I've got talent. I've got more talent in one finger than you do in your entire body. I did everything right. I went to a good school. I studied all day and night back in college. So how could I not be an elite businessman? I have to be an elite businessman!
I'm sure that you worked quite hard in your college days, Mr. Trudeau. But you seem to view your college diploma as the finish line, when in fact it's nothing but another starting line. College credentials mean nothing if you don't continue to polish your skills and knowledge as you go through your career. So, while it's unfortunate that your path has taken you here, and I do feel some sympathy for you, the fact remains that you chose this path. Your image of yourself as an elite businessman was all in your imagination. And now, you're reaping the consequences of living in your fantasy world, rather than the real world. Now, clean out your office immediately. And don't worry about the company once you're gone. We'll find someone to replace an employee of your low caliber in no time. Mr. Trudeau was sued in civil court by the company for the damages caused by his oversight. Obviously, it was far more than he would be capable of paying, so he was forced to go into deep debt in order to pay off the damages. It seems the heavy dose of reality was quite a shock to his system. Realizing he's not the elite businessman he always thought he was has practically eliminated his motivation. He's been trying to find a new job for some time, but he still hasn't been successful. Despite being proven to be a fraud, he still goes into interviews acting like he's the next Jeff Bezos, which is a big turnoff for most respectable companies. However, whether he can find a stable job or not, he still has payments on his lawsuit to make. So in the meantime, he's working a number of part-time jobs in order to keep himself housed and fed. To think, he spent all that time, effort, and money to earn a degree from a prestigious institution, all to let it go to waste like this. For his entire professional career, he relied on his academic history in order to advance himself. But all the degrees in the world don't mean a thing if you can't even complete one lousy project without making a mistake that could take down a company. As for me, I'm actually rather enjoying my big comeback into the workplace. My daughter tells me that she thinks I should think about settling down and taking a step back, but I can't do that. This company is like a second child to me. I have to make sure that nothing like what Trudeau did to me happens to anyone else ever again. That means there will be a need for serious internal reform. I'd like to spend my last few years before retirement working on making the company a positive environment for our younger workers. After all, they're the future of the company.
You know, Megan, you've been sitting on that couch for so long that for a moment I mistook you for a houseplant. If you're going to take up space in my house, the least you can do is earn your keep. Get up and get to work.
I'm sorry, I'm not feeling very well right now.
Nonsense, you're completely fine. Now get moving.
What? No, I'm telling you, I've been feeling absolutely terrible today. I think I would know how I'm feeling considering, I'm me.
Excuse me. Just because you're pregnant does not give you the right to be a snotty little brat to me. I won't stand for any more back talk from you, Megan.
What's the matter, Judy? Why are you getting so angry at me all of a sudden? All I'm doing is taking a moment to lay down and rest. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? I'll tell you what's wrong with that. I'm out here doing all of the housework while you are laying on the couch taking a nap. I'm not going to be the only one pulling my weight around here. You've been nothing but a burden ever since you started staying here.
Judy, I know it can't be all that fun to have your pregnant daughter-in-law living with you. But I really don't understand why you have to be so harsh and abrasive to me like this.
Well, I hope you come to get used to it, because this is the way it's always going to be. I will never approve of you marrying my son. Honestly, what was Harvey even thinking, marrying a girl like you? Even my fool of a husband has been taking a liking to you. Men really are a bunch of nincompoops. You might be able to convince those two with your little Miss Perfect act, but I'm not as gullible as they are. I know that you're hiding your true colors, you deceptive little harpy.
I'm a deceptive little harpy, am I? And exactly what colors do you think I'm hiding?
Black, the color of your heart. You're an insidious demon here to suck my family dry. And that means that thing inside your belly right now is just as much of a demon as you are. You've poisoned my family line with your demonic genes.
You do realize that this baby is your son's child, and therefore your grandchild, don't you? Are you sure you want to tell Harvey you think his child is a demon? Not to mention his wife.
Harvey has nothing to do with you or that baby. Your demonic baby corrupted my pure-hearted Harvey's seed and turned it into a vessel of pure evil.
Why are you talking like a superstitious medieval peasant? I really have no idea what you're going on about, but I just wanted to take a moment. If you need anything, talk to Harvey and have him help you.
I don't believe you. You would push off your work onto your husband? And to think you call yourself his wife. No wife would do such a shameless thing.
This isn't just me saying that. Harvey has told you the same thing himself, many times. Not to mention, I don't know what you think my work is, but this isn't the 1950s anymore. Women aren't responsible for 100% of the housework these days. Me and Harvey both split the housework, and he does as much as his work schedule allows. That's how nearly all the couples my age do things.
Don't you tell me how things were back in my day. I've been around far longer than you have, little girl.
Trust me, Judy, I'm well aware of how old you are.
Excuse me, did you just call me old?
No, sorry. That's not what I was intending to do at all. I'm really not feeling well, and my head is in a total fog, so you'll have to forgive me for the slip of tongue every now and then.
I don't have to forgive you for anything, and I won't. You are my daughter-in-law. This is my house. That means that you do as I tell you, no questions asked. That is how things work around here, and you're going to have to deal with it whether you like it or not. Also, I shouldn't have to remind you that you're still the prime suspect in a serious crime.
And that would be?
You stole money from my husband's safe. I am positive it was you, and it's only a matter of time before I prove it.
Oh great, here we go again. Judy, I do not know the combination to your husband's safe. Even if I did, I don't know how to use your husband's safe. It's really old. I don't even think they make them like this anymore. And even if I both knew the combination and how to open the safe, I still wouldn't steal your husband's money. Furthermore, you have absolutely zero evidence that I'm the one who stole it. So I don't know what gives you the right to call me the prime suspect.
Who in this house would think to steal my husband's money other than you? You've got some nerve stealing money out of your in-laws' safe, and while freeloading in their home to boot. Your parents must be utterly ashamed to have spawned a creature like you.
Judy, come on, please. I didn't steal anything. Why won't you believe me?
Even if you did manage to convince me, which you haven't, you'll have a much harder time convincing my husband. He's even more convinced it was you than I am.
I really doubt that's the case.
Harvey's the only one who actually thinks you might be innocent, but that makes 2 out of 3 people who think you're the culprit. Don't worry, though, I'll talk to Harvey and make it a unanimous verdict before the weekend.
Okay, Carly, the target has left the house. She's heading to her car right now. Be sure you follow her every move and don't get caught.
Aye, aye, sir. Seriously, how did I get stuck playing along with your little detective game?
Who else is gonna do it? You know I'm really pregnant right now, so I'm not exactly light on my feet. I can't be following her around myself.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but still. Why in the world are you having me follow your mother-in-law around in the first place? What are you looking for?
I'm just looking to find something I can use against her. Anything at all will do. I am not going to just sit back and let her treat me like this forever. I'm gonna show her who she's messing with.
Right, so you've drafted me to be a frontline soldier in your personal vendetta against your mother-in-law. I really would prefer it if you could not go dragging me into your family drama.
Hey, don't be like that. We're best friends, aren't we? You can do a little detective work for me.
You know, you can be just as bossy as your mother-in-law gets at times.
Oh, you think this is bad? Imagine someone barking orders at you all day, every day for as long as you've known her. That's what I have to deal with. Best friends are supposed to be there for each other when the chips are down. And let me tell you, Carly, the chips are definitely down.
Yeah, you can cut it with the guilt trip, all right? I'll do it. But just so you know, I am not going to do this for free. Is that clear?
Oh, definitely. I never intended to make you work pro bono for me. I have a reward befitting your service waiting for you once your mission is complete. So anyway, make sure you don't lose her, okay? I don't want you to miss one single thing.
You're lucky there was nothing interesting on TV today. But can you please tell me what you're expecting to gain from me following her? Do you have any sort of reason to believe that she's doing something wrong?
Oh, yeah, I have a very good reason to suspect her. She's pure evil. A woman like her must be doing something wrong. I just know it.
Okay, I was hoping for something a bit more concrete and evidentiary than she's evil. Well, hopefully I can find something that you can use before too much longer. I want to go back home and do nothing. Megan, this is big. Very, very big. Like, we're talking galaxy level big here. Your mother-in-law is currently walking hand in hand with a guy young enough to be her son.
What?
You're joking.
Yeah, I'm joking. I'm making it all up so you can get off my case. No, I'm not joking. I just saw the two of them walking out of a hotel downtown. Ugh, I don't even want to think about what they were doing while they were in there. I can take a picture of them if you want. Would that be useful?
Do you even need to ask? Yes! Hurry up and take the picture before you lose them. No way, this is the best! I'll actually have evidence of her having an affair.
I don't know if this outcome is the best for her husband, but that's none of my concern. I'm just here to take pictures. I'll send it right over. And once that's done, I've got a date with my couch.
Don't think you're done just yet, Carly. Having a secret boyfriend is pretty good, but she might still be able to talk her way out of it with just a picture. I need something bigger and better to really nail her down.
What do you think I am, some kind of private detective? I have far better things to do with my time than wait around while your mother-in-law cheats on her husband some more.
No, you don't.
Point taken.
And honestly, I'd say you might just have what it takes to be a private eye, Carly. Think about it. You managed to get proof of an affair after following a woman for a single day. This is the perfect opportunity for you to hone your skills even further. Maybe you could open up your own detective firm someday.
I don't recall ever telling you I wanted to be a private eye. Wait a second. What in the world is she doing now?
How am I supposed to know? You're the one who's watching her. You tell me. Is she kissing her boyfriend or something?
No, she's fighting with a pigeon.
She's fighting with a pigeon?
Yeah, some pigeon landed on the ground in front of her and really spooked her. She is super mad. She's swinging her arms at it like a crazy woman, but she hasn't hit it even once.
Well, that is an unexpected development. My mother-in-law fighting with a pigeon?
I don't know if I'd call it a fight. The pigeon doesn't seem to mind much. It more so looks like she's just swinging at a ghost or something. You know, from this angle, it almost looks like the pigeon is playing with her. It's kind of funny.
Stop texting me and take a video. Do it now.
You want a video of this?
Of course I do. Having something like that on video is going to be crazy embarrassing for her. I could spread it on social media and make everyone think she's a crazy woman.
And what does that make me, huh? Someone with nothing better to do than take videos of crazy women swinging at pigeons?
I mean, yet again, it's true, right? Just take the video, got it?
Okay, get off my back. I'll take the video now.
Judy, what is the matter with you? Seriously? Why did you just hit me with that tray?
Because you're using the fact that you're pregnant as an excuse to act like a spoiled little princess. I told you that you were going to be working for me today, and I found you laying down in your bed taking a nap.
I already did everything you told me to do before lunch today. I'm tired, my feet hurt, my back aches, my stomach feels like it weighs 1,000,000 pounds, and I want to take a little nap.
Did I tell you you were allowed to take naps? No, I did not. If you finished what I told you to do this morning, you should have immediately come to me for more work to do. I already told you you're not going to get away with using your pregnancy as an excuse to slack off.
I'm not slacking off at all. I'm doing most of the work, actually. And hey, if you're going to hit me like that, why not do it out in the open? You always put on your sheep's clothing whenever we're together with Harvey and your husband. But the second we're alone, you go right back into wolf mode.
This is a problem between women. The men have enough to worry about without dragging them into this. But even if I did tell you what I really think of you in front of them, they would take my side. You understand that, don't you?
All I'm saying is that it's not exactly an admirable quality in you to be so two-faced.
Well then, if you're so upset at the way I'm treating you, why don't you go ahead and go tattle on me to them? Go on, tell them all about the horrible way I'm treating you. I'll just tell them you're making it all up, and they'll take my word over yours.
You really are something else, you know that?
Oh yeah, what's that supposed to mean? Go on, Megan. You've got something to say to me, then go right ahead and say it.
All right, I'll do just that.
Uh-oh, look who's trying to act tough all of a sudden. Exactly what a weak-willed woman like you is going to say to me, huh? I'm all ears.
Trust me, Judy, there is a lot that I want to say to you. And you know what? I think I'll take you up on your challenge. I'm going to say what I have to say to you right in front of Harvey and your husband. Come on out to the living room. We're going to have a little family conference.
What? You mean right now?
Yes, right now.
What are you going to say to me?
You'll find out soon enough.
Something seems off, but all right, I'll be right there.
What's the matter, Judy? Where are you going? We haven't finished talking yet. Come back to the living room.
I knew you were up to something. This picture is a fake. A fake, I tell you. You made a fake picture with a computer or AI or something, and you're trying to trick them into hating me with it.
It's not a fake, Judy. It was just taken the other day, so you have to remember being in that place at that time. Also, we managed to track down the identity of your boyfriend. He works at a rather, shall we say, suspicious massage parlor. I tried to make an appointment just to see what the deal was, and oh my goodness, every service they offered me was more scandalous than the last. Which service did you order, Judy? Actually, you know what? Don't answer that question. Please, for the love of God, don't answer that question. They're quite pricey, too. How much money have you spent at that place?
It's a completely ordinary message parlor. I'm not getting any younger, am I? They're expensive because they're good at relieving aches and pains, with a specialty in older women.
Yuck. They specialize in cougars?
In any case, that silly fake picture proves nothing. No one is going to believe you.
You think so? I don't know, both your husband and Harvey seem pretty convinced.
No way. You mean they actually believe you? But you're lying. You're making it all up.
If you want to prove that I'm lying, go ahead and come back to the house and give them your explanation. If you just clam up and storm out of the house, that's practically an admission of guilt.
I'm not admitting to anything.
Then what are you so afraid of? It's a fake, right? Why don't you get back here and tell them that?
Silence. I bet you're real proud of yourself. Is this your idea of getting some payback against me,
All I did was tell your family the truth about you. If you want to consider it payback, then be my guest.
I knew I was right about you all along. You're a black-hearted, insidious little demon. I'll get you for this. Mark my words.
You might want to wait until I'm done before you start planning your revenge. I still have a video to show you. Take a look.
What on earth was that? How did you get that video? When did you take that?
You need to ask me when that was? Good grief, Judy. How often do you have street fights with pigeons?
Oh, shut up. That pigeon attacked me out of nowhere. I had to teach it a lesson. And what are you going to do with that video?
What else? I'm going to show it to Harvey and your husband.
But why, though? What on earth would you have to gain from showing it to them?
I don't know. I just want them to see it. It's pretty funny. They might get a good laugh out of it.
That's it? You just want a good laugh at my expense? I was defending myself from an attack by a wild animal. There is nothing funny about that. I could have gotten rabies or something.
I'm no epidemiologist, but I'm pretty sure that pigeons don't carry rabies. So yeah, I'm gonna show it to them now.
Again, to what point and purpose? What's going on with you? You're not acting completely different from normal today. I guess that means you finally decided to show your true colors.
Don't you think you're being overly dramatic about this whole thing? All I'm doing is showing your family a video of you fighting with a pigeon. You put up a valiant effort, too. You almost got him. I'll bet your husband will be proud of you.
Are you mocking me? Oh, this proves you're nothing but a black-hearted, insidious, spiteful, hateful woman. As if that were ever in doubt.
Takes one to know one, Judy. Well, here we go. I'm going to show the video to your family now.
Stop! Wait, don't do that!
Well, that was weird.
Weird is not how I would put it. You're wasting everyone's time and embarrassing me for no good reason. Just what were you trying to do anyway?
Hey, don't get mad at me. You're the one who told me to say what I wanted to say.
Is that what you wanted to say? That I was scared by a pigeon and tried to shoo it away? You're still not making sense.
Well, yeah, but that's only part of it. Remember, you were caught leaving a hotel with a masseur. And I also know that you've been spending thousands upon thousands of dollars on over him the last several months. And furthermore, I know that you've been stealing money from your husband's safe to pay him with.
What?
You tried your best to frame me, but it just wasn't a plausible story. Not even Harvey knows the combination to that safe. The only people who do are you and your husband. Harvey's your only son, so he would inherit that money anyway, meaning I have no reason to steal it. The only person with a motive and opportunity is you.
You've got no evidence for that. You could have used any number of ways to open that safe.
I'm afraid no one's going to believe that, Judy.
I'll ask you again, what evidence do you have that it was me? You have nothing, so shut your impudent mouth.
I guess I don't have any hard evidence personally, but your husband seems confident it was you.
What? Why would he think it was me?
In that video of you fighting the pigeon, you were swinging your purse around, right? Well, something flew out of it. A money clip with a wad of cash.
Oh no.
Your husband saw the money clip flying through the air and immediately recognized it as the one he kept in a safe. That's how he knows it was you.
Wait, I can explain.
I only ever showed it to them because I thought they'd get a laugh out of it. I never would have guessed that video would clear my name.
No, you've got it all wrong. That money clip isn't my husband's, it's mine. It only looks similar. All money clips look similar from that far away. Not to mention the image quality in this video is terrible. There's no way you could tell that this money clip is my husband's.
Oh, okay. Then could I please see your money clip?
Huh?
Your money clip. It's yours, right? That's what you just told me anyway. If you can come back to the house right now and show us that money clip is yours and not your husband's, then you're in the clear. It seems like it should be pretty easy to prove your innocence. If you're actually innocent, that is.
Well, actually, the thing is...
Yeah, that's what I thought. If you were really innocent, then you'd be eager to come back and prove it. You should have come up with a more believable lie, Judy. Your poor husband is in shock. It would have been one thing if you had just taken it without his permission to buy something for yourself. But you used it to pay a man to give you some attention, and then try to pin it all on your daughter-in-law.
Oh, that's not what happened, honest.
You should have seen the look on your husband's face when he saw that money clip in the video. He was tearing up while apologizing for ever suspecting me. Harvey said he owed me an apology, too. He's saying he should have pressed you for more evidence when you started accusing me. Wow, does it feel good to have my good name cleared?
This can't be happening.
Sure it can. After all, you spent more than $10,000 of your husband's money to pay another man to sleep with you. You were even bold enough to steal it from your husband's safe. Then, when you need a scapegoat, you chose your pregnant daughter-in-law. I hope that clears up how this all happened for you. Any other questions?
What are those two saying about me?
I'm actually uncomfortable repeating some of the words they used about you. But suffice it to say that they are deeply unhappy with you. You shouldn't count on things going back to normal anytime soon. Or ever, honestly.
But I just made a simple mistake. If I lose my family, I don't know what I'll do.
Oh, and by the way, I'm pressing charges against you for hitting me with that tray. I'll also be pursuing a civil case against you.
I'll settle. I'll pay you however much you want, so please, you have to convince my family not to abandon me.
But why would I do that? From my perspective, the more you suffer, the better. I have absolutely no reason to help you make amends with your husband and son. Oh, I know. Why don't you go and see if your favorite masseur will take you in? Although, I doubt he'll have much interest in you now that you're penniless.
You vile, spiteful, malicious, black-hearted demon!
I actually have to hand it to you, Judy. The thing is, all this time you've been calling me hateful, spiteful, black-hearted, and so on. And you were absolutely right. have to hand it to you, Carly. You did great. All I wanted was something that I could use against her to get her to chill out. But the video you took on a whim ended up being the final piece in the puzzle of getting rid of her completely.
I mean, that's not really what I was trying to do, but okay. Now, I believe the two of us have some unfinished business.
We do?
Don't play dumb with me. You said you had a reward prepared for me. I spent the entire day doing stuff for you when I was planning to spend it doing nothing.
I know, I'm joking. I've already bought a present for you.
You did? Really?
Sure, give me a second. I'm gonna send you a picture.
What is this? A camera?
That's right. It's the latest model. It's made specifically for taking high-quality pictures of objects that are far away.
Megan, you want me to keep following your mother-in-law around, don't you?
I told you, Carly, you're a natural at this. You have to put those talents to good use.
Well, I guess I was thinking about making a career change lately, and I guess it was kind of exciting when I found your mom and that masseur guy. But hold on a second, this camera looks ridiculously expensive.
Oh, don't be silly, Carly. It wasn't ridiculously expensive. It was outrageously expensive. That's how much confidence I have in you as a professional private investigator. So, are you ready for your first assignment? Harvey and his dad were completely disillusioned about Judy. After a long, intense discussion, they decided that she was no longer welcome in the family. She put up a fight right up to the very last second. Between the affair with the masseur, the theft of her husband's money, the way she tried to frame me, and the horrible way she treated me, there was no way she was going to be given any second chances. She packed her things up and left the house that very evening. Her husband gave her a bit of money as sort of a parting gift, but she had to hand nearly all of it right over to me when I sued her. She's now homeless and penniless, wandering aimlessly around town hoping to find someone to take pity on her. She tried going to the masseur she had given so much money to, but just like I predicted, he didn't want anything to do with her unless she was paying for it. So Judy has now lost every single person who she could once rely on. Not that I feel bad for her. She deserves every bit of what she's getting. I told my friend Carly that she would make a great private investigator, but she decided to take a slightly different career path. She took a job at a major magazine publisher as an investigative reporter. Now, instead of taking pictures of crotchety old women cheating on their husbands, she's taking pictures of crotchety old politicians and businessmen cheating on their wives. She's also running her own social media account to break other scandals, which is gaining a lot of traction and going viral regularly. Isn't life funny like that? As for me, Harvey and I welcomed our first child into the world recently. We also go to see Harvey's father regularly, and our family gatherings are even more jovial than they used to be when what's-her-name was still around.